Hello everyone! Today you find me out in my potting shed once again, and I'm going to just show you a little bit of what I'm planting today. This is the first week of March, and so it's time for loofah seeds. Now these are a southern seed, and they take 90 days, but it seems like if I start them in February or the first week of March, I seem to be able to get some loofahs on it. Now, I only get 3 or 4. I don't get hundreds like some people do, because in the northeast here it just doesn't get hot long enough. But I still get some off of it, and I plant them every year. Once again, I'm going to show you how I plant them. I have them in little cups like this with drainage holes, and I usually plant only 3 of them because I really don't have that much room for that many. And so what I do is I usually put 2 seeds per pot in case one doesn't germinate. My seeds are always very old, but they germinate. It's just not all of them germinate, so I will plant them a little thicker than what you would if you had a new pack of seeds. Now a couple of them are cracked, so I'm going to just put 3 of them in. Okay, it's as simple as that. And then I'm going to take my potting soil, and I'm just going to put a little layer on top and press it down with my spade so the soil has good contact. These seeds are pretty big, so I don't need to water them ahead of time. On the smaller seeds, you're going to see that I water them before I plant them and then water them again, because the small seeds will rise to the top and sometimes then they won't germinate. But these larger seeds I'm not quite as careful with. Okay, then we're going to take a little bit of water and we're going to water them. I try to find pots and things that I have around the house. I don't buy the commercial peat moss pots. In fact, I've never had success with the little discs. For some reason the discs don't seem to work for me. I'm not sure why, but I've done it for years and they never seem to work. So I just do it this way, the simple way. And always make sure you label. I'm oftentimes not very good at that, and I find out what did I plant. I didn't know what it was until it's time to harvest. So you put a little, and also I just use these little craft sticks you can get at the Dollar Tree, and then I cut them in half. Okay, so we have 3 loofah plants done already. Now for this one, the other 3, I'm not sure what I'm going to use because I am planting tomatoes today, and I'm not sure which ones I want to use. So, I'm dropping stuff yet. Oh, Tessie. Okay, well, I'm trying to go with a different variety. These are amazing. I got these from an older gentleman many years ago, and they're called red currant tomato. They are so delicious. They're small, and they're hard to find. So I'm saving my own seeds this year because look at this. I only have 2 left. I didn't save them last year, and that was my fault. When the tomatoes come in season, it's just such a busy time. I forget to take one and to save it. So Tessie better make sure these grow. So we're going to put these in here, in these pots. And they're very small and very tiny. And I don't even know where I got them from anymore. I just know it was an older gentleman. So I'm just going to put 1 in each one in here because I do know they germinate really well. And I'm just going to push them in like that. Take my hands for this. Okay. And then we're going to label them. I could label the cups, but what I find is when they start getting a little bit leggy, I will take them out of these cups and then I will replant them in another cup. It seems to work that way for me. So these are red currant tomatoes. Alright, then we have 1 left. I need to check with that. I need to find out how I can get more of them in case this doesn't get right. Okay, so I'm a seed collector, and people who have a lot of seeds, they come to me and ask me if I would like to have some because they know that I cherish seeds and I treat seeds like almost like they were the Bible. I'm so sacred with seeds because heirloom varieties, especially ones that are very rare, I'm so careful with. This one is called a Verina's Paradise. It's a pink beefsteak, and of course this was saved too from someone else who saved seeds and trusted me with giving some to them. So we're going to put some of these in. Let's go with 3 for these. And sometimes I let 2 germinate anyhow. I don't thin them out. Now, where am I going to put these back in here? These need to be very careful with them. I don't want to lose anything. So I have 3 in these. And then I'm just going to take my dirt, put it on top. These 2 were pre-wetted, so tap it like that, wet it a little more. Now you're wondering what for tray I have it on, and I'm going to show you here in a bit. I'm going to put the seed packet here. I'm going to show you in a bit what I did. I like to go to the thrift store and I like to find plastic containers, anything that's really cheap. And I found this set up for 50 cents, and I think it's for a microwave. I'm not sure, but I'll show you what I do with it. You get the lid. Take a look at this. I thought this was so neat. And you can put the lid right on top. And I'll hold it up so you can see it better. Just like that. And this is a little greenhouse, and I got this for 50 cents. So I don't need to put any plastic covering on it. And because it's for a microwave, it has a vent. So it has a vent top, which I thought was kind of neat. If I could get a couple of these, that would be really neat. And you can, year after year after year, you can see that this is going to last a long time. So I did those, and I'll get back to you, and I'm going to show you how I do some other trays. And I'm going to show you what I found at the Dollar Tree that I'm using to plant my herbs in. Okay, so oftentimes when you plant herbs, herb seeds are really, really tiny. And a lot of times you're not supposed to really cover them much with dirt. I found a way for $1 that I can grow my herbs, and I think it's just a fantastic way. I've started it last year. But you can get a bowl with a cover like this at the Dollar Tree for $1. And what I do is I plant my herbs in it. This one is lemongrass. It says it takes 2 to 4 weeks for it to germinate. And it says you can plant them 6 to 8 weeks before you take it outside. So, and it has to be only a 1/4 inch of dirt. So what I do is, and I'm going to use a whole packet. When I do my herb seeds, I broadcast them like this instead of little pots because it just seems impossible. And a lot of times herbs do not like being transplanted very well. But if you do it like this, so I watered this first, just to get a little bit of moisture in because these are tiny seeds and you don't want them floating to the top. And what we're going to do is they're so light and so tiny. We're just going to sprinkle them on like you would be sprinkling salt and pepper on a dish. And then I'm going to take my hands and I'm just going to sprinkle dirt on top. Just like that. And I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to pat it down a little bit so the dirt reaches the top. So the seeds can have contact with the soil. And then we're going to water a little bit. And then I'm going to take my hand kind of and go like this with watering it. Because like I said, these seeds are tiny. And they're very light. And then we'll put the seed packet in like this. And we're going to put the cover on top. And look at that. We have our own little greenhouse. Perfect for tiny herb seeds. I'm going to keep the lid on it until the seeds are germinated nicely. And once they're germinated a couple inches, then I will take the lid off. I'm going to do this for all of my herbs this year. Also, when it comes time to transplanting, these herbs will become so rooted that it will come out in a nice big round block just like this. And then I'm going to take the shovel and dig a hole, and I'm going to transplant the whole block at one time. And then the next year I will take a shovel and I will divide it. I won't divide them when I plant them. I will plant them totally, this whole thing. I will plant in one hole. That way they can stay rooted together nicely. And I'm not sure if lemongrass is a perennial. Somebody can maybe let me know. I thought it was, but a lot of the herbs are perennials. You wait till the next year before you divide them up and cut up the clumps and replant them. So this year we're going to have some lemongrass. That's just another way, of a cheap way that you can plant some things. And if you have room especially. I do have room. And if I don't have room, I make room, because herbs are really important in my life. So next I'm going to do some more of these, which you've seen me do the pepper plants in. I'm going to plant my tomatoes in these, and then when they get a few inches, when they get their second leaf, the second leaf is called the true leaf. The first leaf is just sprouting. The second leaf is the true leaf. Once we get the second leaf and the third leaf, I will take these out of the containers, and then I will put them in individual cups. So I'm going to start doing some of the tomatoes, and I'm not going to show you that because you've seen how I've done that with the peppers, but I'll just share with you a couple what I'm planting. Every year I have a couple staple tomato plants, varieties that I plant, and then every year I try new varieties. For 2 years in a row I tried the Amish paste, because you know Tessie liked the word Amish. And they just don't do well at all for me. The Amish paste, for some reason, here in the Northeast, in my garden, they don't do well. But the Romas do very well. I am getting out of the regular seeds, and I'm getting more into the organic. But I do have some seeds that aren't organic, because seeds are given to me, and I don't spend hardly any money on my garden. I try to do things as frugal as I can. But I did buy some heirloom German lunchbox tomato, and I have some tomato, the paste, Marzino, San Marzino, I think that's how it's said. I also have some Legend, and this one is a variety pack, so I'm not sure what it's going to do. I thought that would be fun to put in one of these. And then I have a purple tomato, and then this is one that's not organic, but I'm going to try it. It's Burpee's early pick, so I never planted that before. And then I got a cherry tomato, and of course another Roma. And I have a couple of these which I get. These are all organic that people save for me. And this one is called the brown slicer, so I thought that would be interesting. Then I have gold nugget. So those are kind of the varieties that I'm using this year, and some of them varieties you probably never heard of. And I'm really interested in new ones, and this one's called Furthest North. And I've just been reminded that I have an Abraham Lincoln one. I have to find somewhere, because I wanted to plant some Abraham Lincoln ones. They did well for me. So I hope this little demonstration shows you how I do my seeds, and if you got any ideas, please let me know. I know some people plant them in egg cartons. That doesn't seem to work for me either. They get too leggy, and that never works. And also eggshells never work for me either. I'm not sure why, but those methods just do not work for me. Maybe if I had a greenhouse, maybe it would. But planting them in these little trays, and then when they get a little high, transplant them in individual cups, works amazing for me. And then I will put them out in my cold frame, and I'm going to show you what my cold frame looks like. It cost me $0. Stay tuned and I'll show you.